So a few weeks ago, I wanted to make a nice, easygoing, simple blouse, so I decided to make this one here, and I made it in one of my favorite fabrics. Yep, shouldn't have done that. This is quite the disaster. And welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and this is Ripper Seams. So today I've got a short and simple video for you, and it's going to be talking about this particular top here, which is the Jessie top by Cotton and Chalk, which is a pattern by Simply Sewing magazine. Now, as I said, I was looking for a nice easygoing top to make, so yeah, I picked this one here. It is the Jessie top, and I thought this was pretty cute. I mean, like, it's got the exact same sleeves as my honey top, which I made recently, but it just doesn't have the collar detail and the button down the front. It's a nice simple make, so it was very, very tempting for me. Plus, I had this beautiful fabric just languishing in my stash. It is a viscose chalet from Ruby Star Society, and I've been looking for the perfect project to showcase it, and I thought, you know what, this will do that nicely. Now, I have quite a few of these patterns which come from Simply Sewing magazine. Funnily enough, most of them I've actually picked up from swaps tables at my sewing socials, but I never actually made one before, and I thought this might be a good starter one. I can't see what can really go wrong. The body measurements on the back had me fitting into a size 16, but you know what? I decided to make a size 18 because I wanted this to be a little bit more flowy, a little bit more roomy. And yeah, that was interesting to see how that actually ended up. Now, I've learnt enough in my sewing journey to know not to go just off the body measurements, but also to look at the finish measurements as well. So yep, I checked the instructions for those finish measurements, and yep, I fit into a size 16, but was gonna make a size 18. Pretty straightforward stuff. So the pattern pieces themselves are actually just on a single piece of paper, and they actually overlap each other. I don't really have an issue with that. That's fine, you just trace off the size that you need. I also had a quick glance over the instructions, and it all seemed pretty straightforward. So I went on my merry way, cut my pattern pieces out, laid out my fabric, cut all the pieces I need out of this beautiful, beautiful fabric. This is one of those fabrics that has been sitting in my stash for the past year. I picked it up from Stitches in Seattle. It's been one of my favorite fabrics, and I've been trying to find a really beautiful top to make out of it. And I thought this would be a really nice top just to wear with jeans, dressed up casual and just easy going, but a really, really beautiful, fun print. So anyway, I started sewing, and it was generally coming together quite nicely until I encountered this particular phrase. So for step 2, for making the facings. So with right sides together, pin and stitch the front and back facing pieces together at the shoulder seams. Press open, and they've got images, it's all labeled, but then it says for 03. For this image, can we do a close-up of the shoulder seam of the facing, please? Now, that's not an instruction for the sewist. That's an instruction for whoever's putting together this design sheet, which then immediately rang alarm bells, because I thought, if this has been pattern tested by somebody, that phrase to tell someone to put a picture in here shouldn't be there. Someone should have gone, oh, that's a mistake. Yeah, you need to take that out. It was a bit of a laugh when I saw it. I went, oops-a-daisy. But then I kept going. It still seemed to be coming together quite nicely. But then I encountered another problem. There is no instruction in here to tell me to sew up the side seams. So yeah, that's a bit of an oversight as well. So very clearly it didn't seem like due care was taken with the pattern instructions. But what about the make itself? Well, yes, I've wasted my fabric because this doesn't fit me. Now remember, as I mentioned, using the finished garment measurements, this should have been relatively nice and roomy for me. I decided to go up to a size 18 just to give me a little bit of extra width in there, and it's too tight across the bust here, and it's too tight across the tops, like the biceps. It is very tight along here, and I can tell you now, if I was anything bigger than a B cup, yeah, I wouldn't be fitting in there at all. This area here should have been really nice and roomy like I wanted. Nope, it's pretty tight along here, absolutely tight. And now I've gone and used some of my favorite fabric for a top that doesn't really fit me properly. It might fit me if I drop a couple of sizes, which hopefully that will happen in the near future. But at the moment, I can't wear this now, which is what I was planning to do. So I love the top. I actually think it came out quite nicely. I really love this sleeve detail with the slit. Now, can I just tell you that this slit Admittedly, this slip was a lot easier to sew than the one on the honey top. The instructions were a lot better. So yeah, that was the only good thing. And it came out nicely. These seams came out nicely, but it's all wrong up here. It's too tight along the top here. So yeah, once I realized that, I kind of lost interest in finishing it. I put a simple bias binding hem on it, and you know what? I haven't even put a button in the back there. I'm a bit angry at it. And actually, no, I'm not a bit angry. I'm really angry at it. So yeah, this is my first experience with a Simply Sewing magazine, and I'm really disappointed. I don't know, has anybody else made the Jessie top and experienced this? Is this a thing with Simply Sewing patterns going forward? Please let me know down in the comments, because there's some other patterns of theirs which I really want to try. This is a really, really nice pinafore dress, but I'm a little bit scared to now. Now, I don't want to harp on too much for Simply Sewing, because I do enjoy that magazine, but I was really, really surprised that such a simple top like this, just the sizing was completely wrong. I don't have enough experience to know whether there should have maybe been a buster in here, but the fact that you didn't have an instruction to sew the side seams on there, that's a big oversight. So yeah, this one was an interesting one. Now, because I thought this was going to be a pretty straightforward, easy make, I didn't make a toile. I'm not one for making toiles or these mock-ups, just because I thought this is pretty straightforward. So yeah, I'm now thinking that before I cut into my favorite fabric again, I really should make a toile of some sort, because I was really disappointed with this one, and it looks so cute. I would love to wear this. So if anything, it's just an initiative for me to maybe drop a few dress sizes, get some exercise in. So yeah, this will be the incentive. Good thing is, I'm actually going to be in Seattle again next week. I am going to go visit Stitches. I don't think I'm going to get this fabric again, although if they had it, I probably would, because I'd like to make something that was wearable in it. But yeah, I'm going to see what other fantastic fabric they've got. Now, because I'm going to be in Seattle, I am not going to do a video next week because I'll be too busy doing work stuff and also getting around and doing some fabric shopping. But yes, when I come back, I'll have all sorts of fun videos coming your way. So no backyard catwalk for this one. So shall we do some Ripper Seams rating? So for brain friendliness, I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5 for brain friendliness. For the most part, the instructions were okay. There were some photos in there, pretty standard, simple instructions, but I managed to get through it quite easily without too much drama. I definitely finished off these tie sleeves, so I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 for brain friendliness. For fit, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 because, yep, this, not happy with it. And ultimately, it's going to get a 1 lovable otters. Well, it's just going to get a 1 otter. I don't know whether lovable's probably the right term to use there. So 1 otter for the Jessie top from Simply Sewing magazine. So yeah, let it be a word of warning. Even if something looks so simple, maybe it is a good idea to make a mock-up. So thanks very much for hanging out with me today. Let me know about your experiences sewing with Simply Sewing magazine patterns. They're the ones called Cotton and Chalk. And yeah, I'd love to learn more because, like I said, they've got some cute looking patterns. I'd like to try some more, but yeah, I'm just going to be a little bit cautious, tippy toe in there a little bit more going forward. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you when I get back from Seattle. Until then, have a wonderful time sewing, and I'll see you in the next video.